Another episode of Meta Q&A. So this time, SpeakingRaven submits some questions, which go as follows. SpeakingRaven. So Sage, reality is a kind of, let's say, room with geometric pattern on it. And you are an atom observer, which spins somehow very fast in it and sees logical interpretation of it. But now I have 3 questions to you. 1, is awareness shared? I mean, if I experience more awareness, then someone else becomes a robot. 2, why do I experience pain, hunger, etc.? 3, how can I love everything without attachments? I mean, I suffer when I see pain of others' observers if I love them. All right, answers. 1 question at a time. 1, is awareness shared? Is the other a robot? This entire question revolves around the recognition of a self through an illusion of an other. Without an illusion of an other, there is only self. And when there is only self, there cannot be any distinctions or self-recognition. What is called reality is whole. A whole is a whole because it isn't fragmented. Separation is a delusional construct. So fundamental core is without any such artifice. Therefore, there really isn't any sharing going on. And hence, no way for an I to experience more awareness than a someone else. Someone else is only a contrived facade. And so is the I, which is the root assumption in all 3 of the questions. Thus, if no I and no other, then these contrivances cannot possibly experience awareness. Illusion doesn't experience reality. Reality experiences illusion. Awareness isn't a phenomena that gets experienced. That would be an attempt to frame the contextual as an item of content, and that simply won't do. You can try to relegate the fundamental into the mundane all you want, but in the end it's going to get rejected via illumination. You can't pass off an assumed choice as the truth, just so you can try to push some other mundane aspect as the fundamental truth. It lacks authenticity exactly because it isn't at all mental. It's an aspect of physicality, the denser mental state. And you can't make an abstraction objective simply because you enjoy believing in it. Even to just believe implies divisions where there are none. Bottom line, multiplicity is a pretense. Question 2, why do I experience pleasure, pain, hunger, and such? Well, again, what I? The fact that there is an illusion that facilitates a delusion of an I is exactly why there are experiences of individuality, such as pleasure, pain, hunger, and such. They are experiences. But these experiences are not actual. They are just experiences. Experiences of what an objective reality might be like for an imagined separated individuality, aka individuality. But the raw, hard truth is, reality is indivisible. Static fields have no boundaries. There may be an impression of an appearance of fragmentation in a static field, but that's all it is, an appearance. Just as the shape of some familiar object seen in the clouds, a bit of pareidolia. You know the shape can't really be in the clouds, and yet there it is, clear as day, and is even third-party shareable. So where in that cloud object are there any divisions? In a visual sense, the main sense organ that gives an identity a sense of locality, there is but a screen of images that one incorrectly assumes is depicting an objectified location. This is the crux of the misunderstanding. There isn't any divisions on the screen of images. There is but projected light of pure awareness, filtering through a sense configuration to produce a very crafty illusion. That's the extent of it. It's the same reason you can't name any real divisions existing in the dreams you have at night. It may be an undesirable truth that hits the ego hard, and the ego certainly doesn't want it to be true, but it is the truth nonetheless. Reality is a unified stream, and that's ironclad. It's not a subjective truth nor a relative truth. And the reason that it's the undisputed, irrefutable truth is because it isn't a belief or an opinion. Belief and opinion are only partial conditional truths at best. The truth is the truth because it remains true in the absence of beliefs and opinions. And that's not something that is up for negotiation. Your beliefs and opinions are cast away forever into the eternal pit of fire. Sorry, you're wrong, and your opinions and beliefs are invalid. And for so long as you desperately cling to these abstractions, you will be unable to know the truth. Confirmation can be obtained when you strip away all the attachments to extraneous materials. When you can finally shake off the delusions of shrouded clarity, you will once again re-emerge clear and focused. But for so long as you breastfeed on attachments like a little baby bird fledgling, you will not be granted passage into the halls of wisdom. And question 3, how can I love without attachments? Why do I feel empathy for loved ones? There's that I again. Well, better formulated, the more proper question might be, why do dream characters have special features and dynamic capacities? Well, why the hell not? Illusory existential manifestations aren't produced to be boring or one-dimensional. This is why there is a wide spectrum of experiences, such as pleasure, pain, satiation, and hunger. The illusion has all sorts of applications. This is why you can love and feel empathy for those you love. For so long as you are in a delusional state, you will have all sorts of distinctions. With clarity, there's no need, as there is only absolute ubiquity. There is only you here, and you isn't a reference to a dream character. So understand, this is the ultimate game. It's always going to be non-stop constant layers of ever-growing increasing complexity. The complete exact opposite of the truth. So the more you tap into the complexity, the more out of touch you become with actual reality. And then with repetition, these small taps develop into major attachments, which make it that much more harder to regain clarity. So, in rediscovering the truth, amid such complex illusory projections, dropping attachments is a great way to foster liberation from the stranglehold of the ego. So how do you love without attachments? You don't. What you're calling love, the desperate need to possess a piece of illusion, isn't love. That's a scheming mechanism of the ego. Real love is a natural default state that gets buried with the evolution of the ego, but can be rediscovered and uncovered through the wisdom that simply lets things be. Doesn't cling, and doesn't try to interfere with illumination spreading throughout all the corners of the darkness that masks enlightenment.